Hey guys, it's Alyssa here, and today I'm coming at you with some self-care tips that don't involve spending a crazy amount of money. I've seen so many self-care tips that involve spending money, or a lot of times you hear, oh, I did some self-care, or self-care, and it involved spending money. And I do agree that for some people who have that ability, it works. It helps them feel better, and I don't knock spending money or spending a lot of money on something, and maybe you do, if you have the means and you deserve it, go ahead. Like, I'm not one of those people who shame people for spending money. I'm just saying that I wanted to give some tips to people who, like me, don't have a lot of money to spend and would like to have some tips on how to self-soothe that don't involve going out and buying a lot of books. I look like I have spent a lot of money on books, but I haven't, I swear. Or bought a Nintendo Switch and the new Animal Crossing game, or went out and bought all this expensive takeout food and had bought a $9 bath bomb and went out and did this and did that and did all of these things for self-care. Those things are great, but it caters to a very specific audience of people who have money. And I want to talk about some of the things that you might already have in your home and you can do in your home and are easy and just are still you taking care of yourself.
Changed my life. I mean, I always knew it existed, but I've never used it. Wow, this stuff changed my life.
Really?
Yes. For the tub.
Really?
If you have this and a scrubby brush thing, it's not even that hard and it gets so freaking clean.
The first tip is to cook yourself something, and this might not seem like a big deal, and you might be the type of person that does this every day, but when you're having a down and out day, when I'm having a down and out day, sometimes the last thing I want to do is cook myself food. And sometimes it's not the thing that's gonna make me feel better. Sometimes I want to eat something that's quick and easy, and that'll make me feel better. Showing yourself that you're worth time and energy to put time into making yourself food, and I've found that it can be very therapeutic if you just put on a podcast or listen to some music. I think it's so helpful. It's a thing that can be very nice, because a lot of times I find on my bad days that I feel like I'm not doing enough. So to have something that I'm doing and then have a good positive result from it, where it's like, oh wow, I have this thing that I made and I get to eat and I get to know that I put time into myself and I'm showing myself that I'm worth time and energy. It's great. It's a win-win, and you're eating food. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win-win-win-win. And going along with that, maybe for you, it might be not cooking. It might be getting takeout. It might be getting something from the fast food place. It could be anything, but you should still eat. The bottom line is you should eat. Don't tell yourself you shouldn't eat, you should eat. The next tip that I have is a tip that I'm not great at, but I'm trying to get better at, which is to try journaling. And that could be any type of journaling. That could just be like free form, like writing what you're thinking about, or writing about something that happened, or, for me, I've gotten really into bullet journaling. I'm by no means an expert, and I don't like watch any videos or anything like that. I just kind of do my own thing, and it's really fun, and I like writing down in my calendar the things that I've done during the month and the things that I've read and the videos that I've come out with. It's another way that I can show that, like, I've done all of these things. These are all the cool things that I've done, the people I've talked to, and the time and energy that I've put things into and stuff like that. So the next one is maybe homework or a worksheet that you've gotten from therapy, if you're in therapy, if you get the type of things from therapy, or maybe a worksheet that you found online to help with your mental health. It could also be meditation, but basically things specifically geared specifically towards helping your mental health. I've found that I don't do it necessarily always when I'm in a bad mood or when I'm struggling or anything like that, but I have found that sometimes if I feel lost and I feel like I have no direction and I just feel like I'm wandering a lot in like my mind, I have found for sure that doing some type of work to help myself specifically mentally can be very rewarding. And then I can look back on it and be like, wow, I wasn't feeling the best, but like I still put in all of this work towards bettering myself. And you know, again, it could be anything. It could be a worksheet you found online. It could just be simple guided meditation. I find that guided meditation really helps me a lot, and it really helps me to better understand what's going on. So the next one may seem like a chore to you, but hear me out. The next one is laundry. And I don't necessarily mean to do all of your laundry, but maybe if you're a person who, like me, likes to see things being done and clean and orderly, doing laundry may make you feel better. And then like, you might not enjoy it while you're doing it, but then at the end of the night, when you're laying down and you washed your sheets, because you're nasty, you didn't do that enough, I'm talking to me, you feel all good and clean, and you just have the best sleep you've ever had because everything is clean and your sheets are clean, and it's such a good feeling. Also, I did cut my hair. You can all compliment me down below. The next one is just doing an activity, whether that be playing a game on your phone, or it could be something physical like cross stitch, knitting, crocheting. I've really gotten into cross stitch lately. It's so repetitive and it just is so nice in my mind. Like it does things for me. Could be something like going for a walk. Maybe that's your thing. I'm not into walks. Sometimes I'm into walks. Right time, right place, right people. Or it could be something like if you have a messy space and you're like me and you like to be an organized freak, then maybe reorganizing something, reorganizing your closet, switching out the change of clothes for the seasons, because I'm that person. Not that I have to, but I do like doing it. Putting in effort, putting in time and energy into something, and then before you know it, it's been a couple hours and you accomplish something. And it could be anything. Next one is if you're in the type of mood where you're just don't want to do anything. You just want to be comatose on your bed staring at the wall, because that's happens for me. Happens for me a lot. So this is for like the times when you can't find the energy to do anything else and you're just deep into whatever you're into in your mind. Watch Netflix. Watch Netflix. Go ahead, do it. I don't watch enough TV. So this is something I could do more of. I don't watch hardly enough TV. I should watch more, but I don't. Or if, you know, YouTube, if that's the case, watch some YouTube, catch up on your subscription box. Or if you're like me, I'm not a person who can read usually when I'm stressed out or going through anything, because it's too much for my brain to handle. But a lot of people are. So if you're that type, go ahead and read. Do that. Listen to an audiobook. Or if you're like me, and one of the most comforting things you could do for yourself, which is to rewatch the same thing you watched 100 times. Go ahead, do it. Do it. I don't even want to tell you how many times I've rewatched John Mulaney's comedy specials. It's insane. Another guilty pleasure of mine is to rewatch the same like comedy / funny YouTube videos. I like a lot of like funny commentary videos. So I'll scroll through, and videos I've already watched 3 times, I'll just rewatch them again. Because I need something to pass the time and I can't put energy into anything else. The next tip is to talk to someone. Text somebody. Call somebody. Say, hey, what's up? How y'all doing? FaceTime somebody. Zoom call somebody. Do something. Talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Tell somebody how you're feeling or not how you're feeling, and just talk to them. Just talk to somebody. Don't forever isolate yourself. It won't lead to good things. It's a very slippery slope when you self-isolate yourself. And right now times are really hard. So that advice can be even harder to follow, because it's so easy to just like not talk to people, I think, right now. So talk to somebody. And maybe your brain's telling you nobody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to hear from you. Nobody wants to hear your problems, but that's not true. That's not true. And the next one is to get dressed. Don't just put on pajamas. Maybe put on some real pants. Or not, if that's not what you usually wear. But put on something that makes you feel nice. Just because you feel crappy doesn't mean you should be wearing the same bratty t-shirt that you've been wearing for the past 5 days. Put some clothes on. Go ahead, put some clothes on. What's the worst that can happen? You get so uncomfortable and you're so annoyed that you're in clothes, you can just take them off again. But it might make you feel better in the moment. It might lead to better things. So just go ahead. And while you're at it, put some makeup on. Maybe that'll make you feel nice. Get yourself all dolled up. Do your hair. Along with that, take some pictures of yourself. Whether you're dressed in makeup or in pajamas. Take some pictures of yourself. That might boost your confidence. I know sometimes that can do that for me. When I'm feeling really down and I feel like I need a boost, I'll take some selfies. Because I'm like, hey, I'm pretty decent looking. The second to last tip, which I think goes without saying, don't feel bad about not spending money. And don't feel like spending money will mentally help you in any way. Because guess what? It could do literally nothing for you and just be a bad coping mechanism. Have you ever thought of that before? When I was buying books all the time and was constantly getting new ones, guess what? I got no enjoyment from that. Do you know what I get enjoyment from nowadays? Going to the library. I'm not saying you have to stop buying books or buying things that you enjoy, but maybe think like, does that actually make me happy? Will that make me happy? Or is it just gonna be a waste of money and a false sense of contentment? Just saying. And my very last tip is this, and that is that mental health is not linear, which means it doesn't follow a straight line. It doesn't start and end at any certain point. It is not something that is consistent. It can fluctuate from one second to the next. So please take care of yourself and be easy on yourself. And remember that it's not forever. And that you're worth so much more than this one moment, or this one day, or this 1 week, or even this 1 month. Remember that you're worth it. You're worth time. You're worth energy. You're worth putting things back into yourself. And I hope you love yourself. And if you don't, I hope you get there one day. And I hope you're doing okay. I hope maybe you found help in some way, or you didn't, and you just came here for a good time.